Ladies and gentlemen, this is Pillar to Post, and tonight was NXT, and this is your NXT report, straight out of the dungeon, folks. I'm your host, as always, Pete Wall, and let's get into it. But before that, I want to say, it was a pretty damn good night for NXT, as always. But we got to give a shout out to my sponsors here before we get going, because frankly, they help the show quite a bit, and with your help, they help even further. So today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. You get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial using this link, audibletrial.com/pillar to post. Now they have over 180,000, I should say over 200,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. Now, you can take this anywhere you go. Doesn't matter what you're doing. You always have that option if you want to read, but your hands are busy. There you go, an audiobook of your choosing. They have got a buttload of books to choose from, be it wrestling-related content, be it biographies, science fiction, fantasy fiction, romance, you name it, they've got it. Now, the kicker is, if you don't want to stick out the 30-day free trial after you download your free book, you can unsubscribe or discontinue your membership and you keep the audiobook. So you've got that going for you, folks. Anyone new to the channel and wants to take advantage of that link, make sure you take advantage, folks. It helps me every time someone clicks on it. audibletrial.com/pillar to post. And Grapple Merch, our second sponsor. Visit grapple.bigcartel.com, and when using this code at the checkout, Pillar to Post 77, you receive a discount courtesy of Pillar to Post and Grapple Merch for wrestling memorabilia such as t-shirts, autographed photos, WWE Elite wrestling figures in your very own Grapple box. This month's was Grapple Box 4. So check it out. If you're interested, make a purchase. Use that code at the checkout, though, Pillar to Post 77, and you'll get your discount. And as always, repping Pillar to Post is Circle Steel, as well as Big Dog Wrestling, which you can catch every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at 6 p.m. And tomorrow night, we're going to have a little bit of fantasy booking going on here, where you, the viewers, get to make the match. So that is going to happen tomorrow, or starting tomorrow. And I do want to apologize. I did forget my SmackDown review. But frankly, there wasn't a hell of a lot to go over. The whole match kind of made me very tired. I fell asleep through it. I was up and on throughout the whole damn show. Now, I do understand, and I know that the main event wasn't too bad, but the rest of the show, come on, please. Give me something refreshing. That's all I ask for. This is why I tune into NXT. And NXT is what we got. But, beforehand, both of my sponsors' links are in the description below. You can find my Teespring Stores in the description below as well. My Facebook merch, my Facebook author page, my Facebook link itself are all in the description below. You can find me on VidMe as well. I haven't been doing much on VidMe as of late, but I will be getting back on there once my schedule has straightened out more. If you want to help support this channel, you can do that for as low as $1 a month at Patreon. And that is, my link is patreon.com/pillar to post. Like I said, $1 a month. And everything you give towards this channel goes right back into it to make it even better. And finally, my Twitter is at Pillar to Post 77. And if you want to send me any kind of stories related to your experiences in wrestling, or if you want to maybe buy some merchandise directly from me, you can do that at steeldragon1234@hotmail.com. Now that I've done the intro, take that bloody thing off. It is hot in here, folks. Now, before we get into the show, I'm going to take a little drink of coffee here. Now, we started the show off pretty damn good. Ember Moon versus Ruby Riot. We've seen these women fight in triple threat matches and in fatal four-ways. Tonight, it was one-on-one. Ember Moon taking on Ruby Riot, and damn, what a match they put on. I want to be serious here. I could watch these women, and I'm not going to say all the women in NXT. Some of them need some help. But for the most part, Ember Moon, Asuka, Ruby Riot, and Nikki Cross, definitely those four. I could watch them all night long in the ring because those women bring it every damn time they step into the ring in NXT. I don't know what it is, what they can do, how they do it better, so much better, I should say, in NXT than what they're showing us on Monday and Tuesday nights. But when it comes down to it, here on NXT, that's where you want to see good women wrestling. And it isn't the crap that you're going to see on SmackDown. It isn't going to be the crap that you see on Raw. It doesn't matter how many times you see these women in action. You don't get tired of it because they're always bringing something new to the table. They are always leaving you wanting more. And we got exactly that in this match tonight. Now, Moon and Riot lock up at the start of the match as always. There's always a lockup. Riot locks in an armbar. Moon counters. Riot sends Moon into the ropes. Moon does a front roll under a leaping Riot. And Moon pulls Riot down into a pin. Now we get a multiple exchange of pins here, which all look spectacular. Riot and Moon exchange multiple pinning combinations, but neither can get the upper hand. Moon attempts an O'Connor roll. Riot counters. Moon takes Riot over with a kip-up head scissors. Riot attempts a monkey flip. Moon catches Riot in midair and bounces Riot off the ropes. Riot transitions into a monkey flip, but Moon front flips out of it and lands directly on her feet. Now Riot and Moon engage in a test of strength. Riot lands a few deep arm drags, then spinning head scissors for a near fall. Riot locks in a rear chin lock, and Moon reverses and slams Riot to the mat with a drop toe hold. Moon ties up Riot in a bow and arrow, and Riot rolls out and lands on top of Moon for another near fall. Riot elbows Moon in the face before driving Moon face first into the turnbuckle. Get a Sato suplex by Riot for another 2 count. Moon manages to land a few kicks, followed by the lethal combination. Now we go to a commercial break. Excuse me. Or I should say advertisement break. It's NXT. It's all about the WWE network. We come back and Moon sends Riot to the apron. Riot shoulder blocks Moon. Riot climbs up top and hits a senton bomb. And Moon somehow kicks out of that. Now Riot misses a running knee into the corner, and Moon lifts up Riot in a side slam into a spinning slam. Riot kicks out. Moon goes up top, but Riot cuts her off. Riot chops Moon in the chest before joining Moon on the top rope. Get a top rope Hurricane Rana by Riot, and Riot goes for a pin, but Moon manages to get her shoulders off the mat before the 3 count once again. Now Moon and Riot are going all out for the potential shot at the NXT Women's Championship, and Moon levels Riot with a discus right hand. Leveled her, put her right down on the mat. Riot misses a clothesline. Moon obliterates Riot with a leaping kick. Moon drops Riot with a modified side effect, and Riot tumbles into the corner. We get a front flip clothesline by Moon, which sets up, as you guys know it, the Eclipse off the top rope. It is a stunner, just a little bit of a modification there if you have never caught Ember Moon in the ring. Beautifully done. Great match. A lot of excitement in that match. And Moon will face Asuka for the title once again. That is what a lot of people are waiting to see. They had a great outing the first time they went at each other. It's going to be a hell of a match the second time around. Now, After that, we get a little backstage segment. It was supposed to have happened earlier in the day. As we all know, all NXT matches are taped like a week or two in advance. So, this is not earlier in the day, but that is what they're going for. Cassius Ohno is given an interview, and out of nowhere, Hideo Itami interrupts and asks Ohno if he requested a match against him. Ohno tells Itami that he told him last week that he was going to take action. Itami says something in Japanese. I didn't understand a damn word of it. Kicks a garbage can and walks away. Now, this happens next week on NXT, so I'm going to say this. I'm dying to see it. It's something I want to see more than I want to see on SmackDown and Raw. And I was thinking, okay, out of all that went down and all the weeks that these two have been going at each other, you kick a garbage can instead of kicking your potential opponent in the head. I don't know if that makes me a heel-type personality, that I would think about taking somebody's head off instead of a garbage can. But when I think wrestling, and I think someone's getting in my way and putting up a challenge, I'm going to kick their head off their shoulders before they even have a chance to get down to that ring and face me next week. At least, slightly injure the damn sumbitch before we go to the match. Just my opinion, though. I'm like that. Up next, we get Oney Lorcan versus Danny Burch, and I'm going to tell you guys right now, you guys want to see two sluggers, two strikers. This is the match for you, and we've got quite a few of these guys in NXT already. We've got, like I said, Cassius Ohno. We've got Hideo Itami. We've got Oney Lorcan, Danny Burch, Black. The list goes on. We've got a lot of strikers in NXT, and they like to at least showcase a couple of them each week. This week it was Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch, and they put on a phenomenal strikers match. So Lorcan and Burch lock up. Burch forces Lorcan into the corner. Burch gives Lorcan a clean break because the referee actually had to get involved, split him up. Lorcan takes Burch over in a headlock takeover, counters into a head scissor, kicks out of it, and Burch decks Lorcan as the referee is admonishing him in the corner. Now we get a missile drop kick by Burch, who sits on Lorcan on the top rope and hits the Tower of London. Shades of a little bit of Nigel McGuinness, and if you don't know who Nigel McGuinness is, he's one of the commentators on NXT as well as a former wrestler. Heard a lot of good things about him, very talented man. Now Lorcan kicks out of the pinning predicament. Burch picks up Lorcan, but Lorcan reverses and destroys Burch with a running blockbuster. Lorcan hits the ropes and hits a sick basement European uppercut. Burch and Lorcan go nose to nose. Burch and Lorcan proceed to punch, uppercut, and chop the heck out of each other. Burch folds Lorcan up like a cheap suit with a lariat, and Burch picks up Lorcan and drops him in a powerbomb. A little bit of a sloppy looking powerbomb could have very easily injured Lorcan, but came back, kicked out, avoids the pin count, and Burch perches Lorcan up on the top turnbuckle. Lorcan knocks Burch off the top and dives off the top, but Burch moves out of the way. Burch charges at Lorcan, but Lorcan drops down and locks Burch in a rolling single leg crab. Very reminiscent of his trainer, who is Lance Storm. Now, Burch tapped out like a bitch, I'd have to say. It was a really quick one. He basically just sat back on the hold, and Burch started going nuts on the tap. It was a very good match, very bad ending to the match. I haven't seen someone tap like that in a long time, and this guy tapped like he was getting pimp slapped, I should say. Just go from there. But all in all, great match. Didn't care for the finisher, but it was a solid strikers match, and I love these strikers matches. Very top of the line match. Now, after the match, Lorcan puts his hand out for a handshake. And during the match, Birch had gotten pretty bloodied up. I think a busted nose would have caused all the blood. And if you guys haven't seen my shows on the weekend, I'm a guy who loves blood in a match. And this match had it just the right amount of it. Not too much, not too little. Now, Lorcan puts his hand out for a handshake. A bloodied Birch gets to his feet and shakes Lorcan's hand. Now, as Lorcan tries to walk away, Birch pulls him back in. Birch says, "I want one more." Lorcan shakes his head and says, "One more time." I guess we'll get to see these two beat the hell out of each other once again in the very near future. And you know what? I want to see it. Okay? These two put on a phenomenal match today. It was straight up in your face, slugger match. I want to see that type of fight. Up next, we get a very quick match. No Way Jose versus Cesar Bononi, or Bononi, however the hell they pronounce it on NXT. I didn't care for it much, but it's to further a rivalry. So I want to see where that goes. But the match itself, I figured be a lot more exciting. No Way Jose just recently returned. He's got a huge fan base already. Cesar Bononi looks fucking fantastic. 6'6", I believe, shredded, and looks like he could go. Just under the right circumstances. He recently did take out Andrade Cien Almas, but I don't know. This match just did not look that good. Jose dances his way into a deep arm drag on Bononi. Bononi sends Jose to the outside, grabs Jose's hair, and drags Jose back into the ring. Bononi stomps Jose in the corner. We get a standing drop kick for a 1 count by Bononi. We get Muay Thai knees by Bononi, and Jose responds with multiple chops and a splash in the corner. We get a clothesline by Jose, pop-up knockout punch by Jose for the win, and that was the end of the match. Your winner, No Way Jose. Besides having a bad name, you got a bad match. It was way too quick, but we all do know we've only got an hour on NXT, and they had a main event to go for right after. Now, after the match, Andrade Cien Almas and Thea Trinidad appear. Trinidad orders Almas to attack Bononi. Jose runs in to make the save, but Almas leaves the ring in time and stays clear of No Way Jose. Now, in the main event, we have the NXT Championship #1 contenders match. That would be Drew McIntyre versus Killian Dain. Two big, nasty attitudes colliding in this, I would have to say, brawl. It would look more like a brawl than it did a wrestling match. Two big guys. It was a little bit on the slow side. I had to rewatch the ending because I did fall asleep, but that is not due to NXT's problem. That is due to the lack of sleep I have been getting. So, McIntyre and Dain tear into each other right off the top of the card. McIntyre sends Dain into the corner. Get a top rope clothesline by McIntyre. Dain responds by clubbing blows to McIntyre's back. We get a low crossbody by Dain. After a short break, Dain is stomping McIntyre in the corner and slams McIntyre into the corner again. Dain punches McIntyre over and over and over again. McIntyre tries to fire up, but Dain knees him square in the forehead. Dain applies a neck vice, takes McIntyre's head and smashes it against the mat while still holding onto the neck vice. Now McIntyre does finally get to his feet, but Dain sends McIntyre back to the mat with a huge clothesline. Dain sets McIntyre on the top rope. Dain climbs up top as well. McIntyre drops down, hits a Liger bomb for a near fall. McIntyre lands a few right hands, then a huge big boot, and Dain stumbles into the corner. Dain tries to land a clothesline, but McIntyre ducks and hits one of his own. We get air raid crash by McIntyre, and McIntyre calls for the Claymore. When McIntyre charges in, Dain hits and drops McIntyre, then hits the Belfast Blitz. Dain pops up and Vader bombs McIntyre. Dain picks up McIntyre for the Ulster Plantation, but McIntyre counters. McIntyre tries to hit the Future Shock DDT, but Dain fights out of it as well. We get a power bomb by Dain, followed by an elbow drop. McIntyre kicks out yet again. Dain perches McIntyre on the top rope. Dain lifts McIntyre off the top rope in a top rope fisherman suplex. McIntyre kicks out again, and Dain misses a clothesline, and McIntyre hits the Future Shock DDT. Dain kicks out at 1. McIntyre looks like he's seen a ghost. McIntyre hits the Claymore. Dain slaps himself in the face and tries to get to his feet. Dain yells for McIntyre to come on. McIntyre hits another Claymore for the victory. And like I said, your winner and new number 1 contender for the NXT Championship, Drew McIntyre, going on to face Bobby Roode. Like I said, it was, for big men, they move quick, okay? But it was a bit on the slower side. And like I said, I did have to rewatch, but it wasn't due to NXT. It was due to me being just extremely tired. It's been a very hot day. I tried doing some work outside in the middle of the heat. And frankly, lack of sleep causes me to crash a little bit earlier than I want. But I'm going to say it was a fantastic NXT show. They always deliver, as always. You can't go wrong by tuning in for 1 hour a week for NXT. I could totally give up watching Monday Night Raw and SmackDown live and just watch NXT every week. But frankly, what would I do on Monday and Tuesday? I do have some ideas. We'll see what happens. But this has been Pillar to Post. I am, as always, Pete Wall. Thank you for joining me. And if you enjoyed the video, you can hit that subscribe button if you're not a subscriber as of yet. Hit the little bell that gives you notifications every time we upload or go live. And I want to welcome you to this weekend's edition of Big Dog Wrestling. That is Friday, Fight Night at 6 p.m. Saturday, which we call Warfare. That is also at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And we've got Suicide Sunday to finish it all off. And we've got our pay-per-view coming on the 30th of this month, which is titled Bloodsport. Now, I'm going to be doing a prediction show this week all about the upcoming pay-per-view for Monday Night Raw. Battleground for SmackDown Live. That is the SmackDown exclusive pay-per-view. I will be doing that in the next coming days. And that'll be up there for your viewing pleasure. And see how many I get right. Now, I didn't get to do one for the last pay-per-view. I missed a few shows here about NXT and SmackDown. I do apologize for that. But we're going to get things back on track very soon. Have a good night. And I will see you tomorrow if you're just one of those that wants to get involved with the fantasy booking night. Have a good night all. And I will see you soon.